Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a DBD discussion video. First, let's get it out the way. I'm sorry about my background. I didn't plan to make this video. Everybody was already addressing everything, so I figured little old me probably shouldn't put up a video like this. And certain neighborhoods in America celebrate way too early. And like early, I mean like they've been doing this since last week. So here's just a quick video of everything in case you don't want to see everybody else's 20-minute long video of what's coming to the PDB in a few hours if everything goes correctly. If not, I'm sorry. I don't mean to deceive. First, survivors are getting DC bots. They've talked about this in the past. If somebody DCs, instead of being a 3v1 for the rest of the game, it's a 3.25v1. The custom bots are very weird. They can either be cracked in perfectly looping spacing and not falling for any mind games that would make the loop quicker, or they can run into a corner that literally has nothing and jump into a locker in your face. Who knows? We'll see what happens. They haven't talked about what perks it'll have equipped. I'm assuming it'll be the ones that the person had. They haven't talked about the health states that it'll have. If somebody on Final Hook DCs, does it start anew? They haven't talked about anything. We just have to wait to see the details. It sounds cool in theory. In practice, could be a nuisance, especially if somebody was going to DC to give the other person hatch, which is pathetic anyway. It'll be funny to see if this stops that. Next, behaviors coming into the 21st century by being a game that actually will tell you if your report did something. This is something that most games do by now. Another thing that they are late to the party on. Can't be mad that they're doing it because they always say, hey, they actually do something, but it never feels like it. So this will give you a feel good placebo effect if it turns out that they're just lying and telling you that it did something. Who knows? We'll see. Next, Sadako is getting a bunch of changes. Some people think that they're good. A few of us are skeptical because I I'll be honest, I just see her becoming singularity with these changes, in which by that I mean the survivors will have no reason to not hold the thing that stops you from having your power. Basically, if a survivor is not holding a cursed tape every time you TP, which is every 15 seconds now, they gain three-fourths of a stack of condemned. If you teleport to a TV, it goes on cooldown for to 70 seconds, was 100, and survivors can disable TVs for a minute and a half, was just a minute. That doesn't sound good to me, especially because they can just hold the curse tape. But no, they can't hold the curse tape because if they get hit with a basic, they will gain one stack of condemned. And then, if you hook the person, all other survivors gain one stack of condemned if they had the tape in their hand. I don't see that having any downside, really, because what's going to happen is that people are going to learn to do what they do with Singularity of just put the tape in the middle of chase because you don't have to go to a specific TV. You can now place it in any TV other than the one they were retrieved from. Okay. Also, surprise, surprise, the tapes no longer passively builds Condemned. Okay, I'm not seeing how Condemned is going to be any more of a scare factor than it was before. Because, yeah, that one tactic was pretty crappy, but it actually made her power do a thing. Now, I just see this being Singularity over again. So, there's that. The manifestation gets changes, though, that seem okay. One of them. You can no longer be stunned while demanifested. That didn't make sense. So they're doing it, but now I want to know if you're going to rubber band to one side or how this is going to work. If you're going to walk through pallets like some type of mini nurse, who knows? We'll have to see. You can't enter chase and gain bloodlust. So unfortunately, the funky little thing you could do with Beast of Prey is out of the way, and she already needed help in her chase, so nerfing her chase even more doesn't make sense. But that's what they're doing. So we'll have to see. Yes, this makes sense because you shouldn't, but she kind of needed it. So, hey, And then add-ons, they said they're changing them. They haven't said what they're doing, so I have to be skeptical. Hook grabs. You can no longer grab people that are unhooking. As somebody that doesn't camp, so this doesn't really affect me, I still am not sold that this is healthy for the game. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, yes, it's so healthy. It just was for the campers, for the yada yada." I don't. I see this going wrong, but but I'll just leave it at that because maybe I'll make that rant another video. I just say this can go very wrong very quickly. BNP is getting nerfed. Instead of 22.5, it's now 10. Don't know why they added this because the add-on was already consumed. So yeah, that's that. This is going to be better number wise. The thing I'm concerned about is they say you will face a difficult skill check. If this counts as the same skill checks for things like hyper focus stakeout, then this could be an issue. You can pretty much just make this time up quicker by getting a jump start on that perk. Don't know. We'll see. At face value, good. Coup de grace getting changed so that you get 2 tokens whenever a gen is done instead of 1, so you can lunge twice as often. Sure, we'll take it. Claustrophobia. They're removing the range restriction, so you used to be able to go over to where a gen was completed and the vaults within 32 meters of that were blocked. Now all vaults across the map are blocked for a little bit. That sounds good. In theory, I have to see how this plays out. Still doubt anybody will take it. Maybe Bubba and Billy. I don't really see it. To be honest, we'll see. Hangman's Trick is getting, I'm gonna say nerfed. If I'm being honest with you, it's now a Scourge Hook, and it reveals the auras of survivors within 10 meters of a Scourge Hook whenever you were carrying somebody. They didn't want to buff the numbers, or else you'll see everybody across the map. But now it'll do less? I don't know. Territorial Imperative. Numbers wise, it got a. It sucks still. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't do anything better. Now the duration of the aura reveal is up to 6, and you can be 24 meters instead of 32 away to activate this. But they increased the cooldown to 45 seconds. Nobody's bringing this. Remember me. Now instead of 4 seconds per hit on the obsession, it's 6. So cool. You can now make the door take 24 seconds to open instead of 16. Awesome. Crowd control. This tells me that people don't understand how crowd control works because somebody was convinced that you will block one spot for a minute. This applies to each vault. So if they vault something else, which they'll do once they realize that they can't vault the one thing, it'll apply over there. So this number value doesn't make sense. And also doesn't really work on all those mini maps as you'd think. Like the game, for example, there's one vault. Okay, there's technically like 3, but there's like one vault. So doesn't really do much. This number increase does nothing. But hey, well, that's just a theory. And then trail. Now you can keep using it even if you hit somebody. Until somebody taps the gen that is glowing bright yellow unless you have blindness somehow, some way. Which is what they already do. This is still garbage. For the survivor perks, they're finally nerfing Prove by not much. They're making it from 15 to 10, and you don't get the co-op BP maxed out instantly by doing this. If I'm being honest with you, people are still going to run Prove. 15 to 10 on a perk that is doing something that you kind of want to do anyway doesn't really make a difference. Blast Mine is up to 2 minutes now. I guess I'll just never see my screen ever again because I cannot kick a gen. Wiretap is also up to 2 minutes, but at the caveat that you now have to repair 50% worth of a gen to activate it. at 50%. Do I need wiretap? Probably not. Still kind of garbage. Saboteur, you were able to sabo 0.2 seconds faster, and if you were bringing this at less than tier 3, the cooldown is shorter. Why were you doing that? Who knows? Clairvoyance will activate upon blessing a totem in addition to cleansing. You should have done that from the beginning because of who it came with. Breakout got a buff for some odd reason. It's 25% from 20, and oh boy, you have to be 1 meter closer. I guess they forgot that 1 meter in this game is nothing, but 5% for wiggle speed is a bit much. Especially if the person has like boil over, tenacity, things like that. So, or flip flop, things like that. Don't really see why something that has already proven to be a problem on certain maps needs a buff, but hey, they did it. Buckle up. They made it the half of made for this that also doesn't need to exist. Upon healing a survivor from the down state, both you and the healed survivor gain the endurance status effect for 10 seconds. Sure, because why not just give them more? I don't get it, but I'm not saying it's game breaking, but it also doesn't make sense. Smash it. The exhaustion is now down to 20 seconds from 40. That's cool. There's counterplay, i.e., don't get hit by pallet, but also you kind of have to get hit by some pallet. So maybe we'll see people run Smash It more into made for this or something like that. We'll see. Spine Shield, they made half of it a feature, so they took it away from the perk. This has been in the game with the visual heartbeat terror radius thing, so that's that. Bad guy tweaks. They buff Pyramid Head in one PTB and then nerf him in another. Now the cage will teleport if you're camping within 10 meters. I understand why they did this, but this can also backfire on the survivors because if you are circling around at that large 10 meters, then they just teleport and now you put down the person that was trying to get it. Don't get it, but that's what they're doing. Spirits add-ons are finally getting touched. MDR is down to 25% from 40. Dry cherry blossom, now you have to be 1 meter closer. Again, I don't understand what they think meters are. I know they're Canadian, but come on now. And then the add-ons that did duration that would also make you recharge faster, they're making it so that it doesn't do that. In return, the recharge more. Hag, her waterlogged shoe makes it so that you now have increased movement speed to 7.5% from 4.5 at the expense of not being able to teleport to your traps and slowing the people that are near the traps when they activate. Sure, it's fun, I guess. Mint Rag is down to 10 seconds from 15, and the duration add-ons for traps are more trap duration-y. Coldwind Farm balance update. They're touching Fractured Cowshed and Rancid Abattoir, and random line of sight blockers that I don't like as Trickster or Pinhead or pretty much anybody. They're doing that too. We'll have to see how this plays out because every time they say they'll touch a map, they don't really succeed in making it any better. I'm not confident that they have their good faith in this one. I'll be honest. So we'll see. That's all of it. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm being too cynical. We'll find out in a few hours. But yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.